Simplilearn. Your pace, your place.
Hello and welcome to Simplilearn Introduction to CAPM Certification course. This is the first of the 12 lessons provided by Simplilearn on CAPM exam preparation. This is the introductory lesson and it's a must-read for all the 11 remaining lessons as well. Please make sure that you have access to the other lessons to fully comprehend the course. Let us first set up the agenda of this lesson. As indicated in the previous slide, this is an introductory course and it covers areas like what are CAPM and PMI. These are terms you will frequently encounter in your conversation with certified project managers or people preparing for this exam. Once you are comfortable with what CAPM and PMI is, we will discuss the syllabus of the CAPM examination. Next, we will discuss more about the CAPM exam itself. We will cover topics like how many questions are there in the exam, what is the pass marks, how many questions are expected from which part of the syllabus, etc. Lastly, we will explain how the CAPM certification course is structured. Going through this part is a must before you start accessing the remaining lessons of this course. CAPM stands for Certified Associate in Project Management. It's the name of the certificate awarded to anyone who scores more than the required passing mark in the CAPM exam. So if you successfully pass the CAPM exam, you become Certified Associate in Project Management, i.e. CAPM. As evident by the name itself, the certificate is of interest to anyone interested in project management as a career. Let me tell you, CAPM is most recognized individual certification in the area of project management. It's valued worldwide. For many of the project management jobs, it's even a mandatory qualification. CAPM is not for project managers from a specific domain. A project manager working in an industry, be it in manufacturing or retail or defense or information technology, can write the CAPM exam and upon successful completion can become a CAPM. Now let's look at what is PMI. PMI is not for profit organization who conducts a CAPM examination. PMI stands for Project Management Institute. PMI is based in USA and it has local chapter across the globe. So if you are based in Singapore, you can look for PMI chapter in Singapore. Such local chapters conduct regular knowledge sharing and networking session for people interested in project management. If you need more information about the PMI, you can check out their website www.pmi.org. A CAPM certificate is valid for only 5 years. Post completion of this 5-year period, you need to either retake the exam to renew your CAPM certification, or you can go for PMP certification. PMP stands for Project Management Professional, and this certification exam is also conducted by PMI. PMI measures project management experience in units of PDU. PDU means Professional Development Unit. So if you attend a project management class of 1 hour by an expert, it's equivalent to say 1 PDU. If you write a white paper on project management related topic, it may be equivalent to 5 PDU. PMI has detailed guideline on what kind of project management activity amounts to how many PDUs. You can check their website for more details. Finally, let's look at what is PMBOK. PMBOK means Project Management Body of Knowledge. It's a book that PMI releases every 4 years. The latest version of the PMBOK is version 4, and it was released in June 2009. PMBOK acts as a textbook for the CAPM exam. You can also think of PMBOK as standard for project management profession. Well, can anyone take up the CAPM examination? Yes, provided one meets certain prerequisite. The prerequisite depends upon person's formal education. As shown in the table, you must have a high school diploma or its global equivalent to appear in the exam. In addition to this diploma, you should either have 1,500 hours professional experience on a project team or 23 hours of formal education on project management. This is also called 23 PMI contact hours. There are many project management training companies who are PMI REP. Now, what is REP? Simplilearn is a global REP of PMI. PMI REP Training Institute means these training companies are registered with PMI as Registered Education Provider. If you attend their training or go through their e-learning, they give you a certificate for 23 PMI contact hours. You can use their certificate and your high school degree to apply for the CAPM exam. Let me also inform you that one has to submit proof of everything, i.e. your educational degree, your project management experience, etc., to PMI while submitting the online application for taking up the exam. PMI randomly audits such submission from time to time, so if you do not meet the prerequisite and still go ahead and submit the online exam application, there are chances of you getting caught. PMI disqualifies such application. Also, once your online application for taking up the exam gets approved, PMI sends an authorization letter. You must write the exam within a year of getting the authorization letter. Now, let me tell you more about the CAPM exam. It's a 3-hour exam consisting of 150 questions. Out of this 150, 15 questions are not scored. But beware, you will not know which these 15 questions are, so you should answer all 150 questions with the same seriousness. PMI includes these questions to see how many test takers are getting them right. Based on this, they might decide to include these questions in future exam. It's like a survey conducted by PMI. The pass marks for the exam is 88 out of 135, which roughly translates to 66%. Now, you must be guessing that CAPM exam is not that easy. You were right. Taking CAPM exam does require certain seriousness in preparation. Next, I have shown in the table on how many questions appear from which part of the syllabus. Basically, PMBOK has 12 chapters, and you get a certain number of questions from each of these chapters. The table shows the name of the chapter and percentage of questions from each of these 12 chapters. Please make a note that percentage is calculated with 135 questions as base and not 150 questions, because 15 questions are dummy and not counted. Getting confused with so many new terms? Hold on for a moment. You will learn them in the next slide. There are 3 terms that I would like to introduce here. First, let's see what process group is. The whole project management discipline is divided into 5 broad process groups. They are project initiation, project planning, project execution, project monitoring and control, and project closing. You probably might be aware of them as well. When a new project starts, it is in the project initiation phase. From initiation, it moves to planning, then to execution and monitoring and control, and finally, it's closed. Project execution and project monitoring and control processes go hand in hand. So when a new project is started, i.e. initiated, all processes of the project initiation process group should be applied to the project. Similarly, when the project is being closed, all processes of project closing group should be applied. Let me give you more specific example. Identify risks is a process of project planning group. So when the project is in planning phase, you must identify all the risks of the project. Next, let's see what a knowledge area is. As per PMPOK, there are 9 knowledge areas. For example, human resource management is one of the knowledge areas. Knowledge area is a set of specific processes required to be performed to meet a project objective. A knowledge area may have some processes to be done in project planning process group and some other processes to be done in the project monitoring and control process group. For example, if you take human resource management knowledge area, develop human resource plan is processes in project planning group, and another process, manage project team, is in project execution group. Lastly, there are 42 process areas. We have already come across 2 such process areas, develop human resource plan and manage project team. If you are totally confused by now, don't worry. This is the whole exam syllabus and there is 1 lesson dedicated to each of these topics. For now, just remember that there are 5 process groups, 9 knowledge areas, and 42 project management processes. Let me give you an overview of all the lessons of this tutorial. In all, we have 12 lessons. The current is the first lesson, which is an introduction to the CAPM certification. Lesson 2, which is named as Project Management Framework, aims to explain what project and project management is all about. It also explains some related terms like program management, project management office, etc. So, Lesson 2 can be considered as an introduction to the project management. Next, Lesson 3 aims to explain the 5 project management process groups that we discussed some time back. Just to recap, these process groups are initiation, planning, executing, monitoring and control, and closing. From Lesson 4 till Lesson 12, the 9 project management knowledge areas are explained. 1 lesson dedicated to each of these 9 areas. We have explained few tips and tricks for the PMP exam on our blog. We suggest you go through it once. It might be of great help. Along with the tips and tricks, we have also listed what is called PMIism. Now, what is PMIism? Well, PMI has a certain way of thinking, and PMIism is a compilation of the same. You might not agree to all of that, but you must know this to pass the PMP exam. Let's quickly take a look at a PMIism example. You must be using the word task in your day-to-day project execution to mean a project-related work, but PMI never uses this term. Instead, they use the word activity and work packages. This is PMIism. There are many such things that we discussed on our blog. At this point, I would also like to add that at the end of each of these lessons, we have a quiz. We strongly support you to take up the quiz and also look at the explanation of all the questions, those which you got right, as well as those that you got wrong. This would help you get a better grasp over the subject. Once you are through with these entire 12 lessons, you can go ahead and start taking our online practice test. This marks the end of our lesson 1. Let's do a quick recap of what we learnt so far. In this lesson, we learnt about what is PMI and CAPM. We also got some information about the CAPM exam format itself and looked at the prerequisite of taking up the CAPM exam. Finally, we covered the syllabus of the CAPM examination, wherein we explained the 5 process groups, the 9 knowledge areas, and the 42 project management processes. Before marking the end of Lesson 1, we also saw how the whole Simplilearn CAPM preparation course is categorized in 12 lessons and what each of these 12 lessons cover. Thank you and happy learning.